Hey, good evening, everybody. We are experiencing. We probably just played our entire intro video that did not air, so just bear with us here. I guess we have to wait for some time in order for us to make sure that all the feeds go live. But we are live here now, and I guess officially, let's kind of get that party started, huh? Yeah. Yeah. So this switch game when you work with new tools. Yeah. And yeah, so that's pretty much how we're doing this here. But once again, we thank you everybody for joining us here tonight. Once again, we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Falls Count everywhere, and of course on X at FCE Podcast. So we're looking forward to having everybody here. Once again, I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby, of course, here on the left, and to the right, of course, is the Gem Seated Mouse Zmiz and Z. We're trying out a new look here tonight, and hopefully we're going to get some people joining us here in just a short bit. I guess it kind of takes a while here for to crank the engines here. It's kind of like a 19th century locomotive. You know, you gotta make sure the coal burns first before you start hitting the gas pedal, I guess.
It's okay. I mean, it's not us if things don't go according to plan all the time. So it's amazing. I do love the new look. I love the new logo, dude. This looks good. I'm pumped with this. And we got handles up. Get us on X, since our X viewers love us so much.
Yeah, sorry, all of our X viewers, they'll probably come pouring in here in about a half an hour somehow or whatever. But I'm going to, I'm actually kind of doing a little delay here because I just want to make sure that we are actually, I'm checking our YouTube channel to at least make sure we're going live here. Let's see. Well, give me a minute, guys. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It looks like we are live. So, and I'm looking at me, looking at you, looking at me. I'm looking at myself again. Oh. And apparently that counter is on the top. So, so once again, we thank you everybody for joining us here tonight. We are going to actually take that off here. Also, some features here, and we've always done this here in the recent weeks. But if you see in the top left-hand corner of the screen, that is our QR code that you will get to all of our social platforms. That's through Linktree. So that gets us out to our TikTok, that gets us out to our Instagram, that gets us out to even we're on some episodes on Spotify. And so, we're all very ready and good to go here. So we welcome everybody here that's watching us here. And then, of course, we're going to get things going here. Let's kind of talk about what we're we actually had a busy week here. Of course, we're actually, honestly, I didn't think I was going to take a while to recover. But then, of course, I did hit the bar after the show last night because congratulations are in order for me because I happened to capture the ACW Tag Team Championship with my circuit partner, the Demon Dog, which is a big guy underneath the mask, and no one's going to know who he is. And so stop asking, or don't even start to ask. So,
I wasn't going to ask.
Yeah, I'm just telling everybody out there, just like, don't even ask, bro. But let's just say that they fell for the trap for my Texas Tornado No Holds Barred match, and let's just say I took a page out of Mr. Logan Paul's playbook at the end of the match. So
strong right hand.
Yeah, I saw my golden opportunity to put something on my hand, and kabow!
Bravo.
I played. They played right into my trap, and so bam, that's how it goes here. So yeah, we'll see, and then of course, I don't know if I'll be defending the titles here next month though, because we're at an outdoor fair, like next month out in the heat in July, they're like, well, it's going to be underneath the tent. I'm like, yeah, it's still going to be damn hot though. If it's not a closed building with air conditioner, it's considered outside temperatures because it's not going to make any difference at
Well,
all.
we'll be blistering hot next weekend in Granite City, Illinois, at the Elks Lodge for IEW. So I can't wait. I can't wait to be under the pavilion.
Okay, so you guys are going to be in the underneath the pavilion, not in.
Yeah, I can't wait. We got a huge card, amazing card.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like we're gonna, yeah, we'll check that out on our reel. Whenever we get a time when it's time to showcase that, and also we'll talk about some other things here upcoming. But how about we do this? Let's cut to one of our new scenes here. As this is you last night, man.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
The,
Uh, kind of take us through with New Genesis Wrestling and Mosquito, man. How's your take? And
so it was hot. We were indoors and it was still hot. Luckily, Mr. Halbert and them set me up beautifully with the commentary table right across from an air conditioning. It blew right down on me. We could keep Zmiz cool, because it gets hot and I don't like heat. I'm not a heat guy. But it was hot in the building that night. We had Gino, Told You So Rivera in the house taking on Sid Holland. And oh my God, did those guys go. They went to a 15-minute draw. And those crowds were asking for more. Sid said, next time we meet, with a nice firm handshake as Gino went down to his knees, next time Sid's going to kill him. There ain't going to be no time limit. So, I mean, we can see it down the way. This beautiful lady here took on Chauncey McKenna in a wonderful females match, and they just tore the house down. Lexi getting the pin. She took some hairs off of Mr. Tyler Cooley's hair because on Keeping It Cool, Tyler Cooley, she said that she was going to make a voodoo doll out of him and maybe make him not such a mark,
oh my God.
So it was a great night, dude. We saw the Fam. The Fam won the NGW Tag Team Champions away from Executive Order. My good friends, the Executive Order. There was a miscommunication. Things got heated between Mr. Halbert and Logan Ridge, but everything will be fine. They did walk out with Tiberius Storm. I always mess his name up. Tiberius Storm walking out the Lightning's division championship. That man is pure built tough. There he is. There he is. Smile. That's a great guy right there. We're gonna be bringing him on soon. Oh, there's that goof Tyler Cooley, man.
Well, he's got a phone. I seen some of the photos where Aleister Crow was approaching rings in the ring too, and Tyler was actually behind Phoenix.
Yes. So okay, let's go to that real quick. Aleister Crow comes out and he put out a challenge and was just mocking the roster the whole time before the show, saying there's nobody here kind of thing, and that he was going to beat somebody up that night. So I don't know what Mr. Cooley did, but Aleister Crow came right over to our commentary table. Maybe it's because he runs his mouth too much and trash talks these wrestlers. I have to say, I may have fumbled a little bit, and I took a nasty sweet chin music, a beautiful super kick, unfortunately from El Magnifico, right to the face. So, still ringing bells there. But Mr. Tyler Cooley was snatched up and thrown in the ring by Aleister Crow and was going to get the beat down until, unfortunately, the prodigal son, and I like the prodigal son, good guy, the prodigal son, Jake Prater, came in and started chopping away at Mr. Aleister Crow. And unfortunately, Aleister Crow did not get the W, but Tyler Cooley got his pants wet. That was cool.
Oh my, yeah. So man, I'll tell you though. So you took a kick. El Magnifico kicked you.
El Magnifico super kicked me right in the. Tyler Cooley, when he got thrown in the ring and stuff and wasn't properly the the headgear wasn't taken off. The right, the sound equipment wasn't taken off. Messed up the equipment. I was trying to fix it during the Lightning Division match. Storm just won the title. They're celebrating. I was celebrating with them, trying to fix the equipment. And yeah, that dirty masked luchador kicked me right in the forehead, just dead center. I bumped one of the chair. Like, it hurt. I had to rest through intermission. And I'm not built for that. I'm built to talk and run my mouth.
Yeah, I know, man. It's tough. It's really tough right now. I mean, as far as I will say that well, so how you were you out a good while then?
I was. It was tough. You know, I had to regroup, recover. Guido hooked me up some water. I got some water. Mr. Halbert took very good care of me, and I got a very big paycheck because of it. So everything's fine. Nobody's gonna get. I'm not pressing charges. I'm not pressing charges. I'll be nice to El Magnifico this one time. But that taco loving, burrito eating fool needs to stay away from me. Or next time there will be consequences. There will be consequences. Just saying that right now. Mr. Halbert and I already understand. If I have to, I will get the law involved next time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell you, if you probably would have got a super kick from one of the young bucks, you probably would have just brushed it off. So
I mean,
at least he probably El Magnifico laid it in pretty quick.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So
It hurt.
Yeah. Hey guys, also here as we're doing our new look here, want to kind of do some shout outs to see what you like about our new looks here, man. So let's get ousted by a storm, and that's like I said, we hope to have Tobias on here. So new division champion
soon.
Yeah, good deal. And of course, what about this? Here's
the gem of the night for me, getting to hang out with a gentleman that we sat down and got to talk with here, and I got to soak up so much information and knowledge about the business and how he views it and how he's grown throughout the business. We got to talk about certain people that made debuts on the bigger rosters as of late, and he shared a photo of him and one of the other cousins at GCW. But getting to hang out with Gino, talk to him, and getting to share some fun joys and laughters. You remember how we made fun of him about Texas Heat and Illinois Heat being different?
Yeah.
Yeah, he found out. He found out. He's like, it's hot. Like, no, he can't. He's in pants when he came in, like nice, jogging pants. He's like, it's hot up here. I'm like, I told you, bro. We built different up here.
Oh my god. Yeah. So, yeah, keep coming here with them comments here. Like I said, we're just trying to look at all these tools, getting these all checked out, man. And I said, it's
Dean knows what's up.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Tobias Storm. Yep, that's right. Know what's up. So hopefully, like I said, we're still booking on some more guests here. We pretty much got July covered up here as far as what we're going to do, and then of course August is what we're looking to hear to as well. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. So we just recapped here your very eventful night at NGW, my eventful night, claiming some tag team gold, rightfully tag team gold, and having a little fun at the bar where I had a few drinks or so at the bar, and I didn't have to pay one single dime.
I'm disappointed that we ain't seeing that title like sitting on a shelf or something back there, hung up on
here's
the wall.
The thing. The Lumberjacks dirtied them up so much. I actually sent
them
shined, and
that's fine. I respect that. Clean them up.
Leather's all beat up, man. They don't treat stuff. I mean, they throw wood around for crying out loud. You remember them woodchucks on that Geico commercial? That's probably what they did with these belts. They just threw it over their shoulder, let it land wherever. Jeez. So as we digress from all this, here we got our upcoming shows reel that we're going to play for you here, and then when we come back, we're going to be featuring our guest of the evening, which is Buzz Bloodsaw, our current AIWF International Heavyweight Champion. So take a look at our upcoming shows reel, and we'll be right back here with you in just a moment.
Check out these great shows and appearances coming to a city near you. Friday, June 28th, St. Louis Anarchy presents Take Me to Church at the House of Anarchy located at 405 East 4th Street in Alton, Illinois. Your main event is an 8-man all-star tag team match featuring Aaron Williams, one called Manders, Thomas Shire, and Gary J versus Davey Vega, Mad Dog Connolly, Derek Neal, and Jake Parnell. Pre-event party starts at 6 p.m. and main card starts at 7 p.m. For more information on event ticket pricing and to get your tickets in advance, visit stlanarchy.com. Saturday, June 29th, IWA Productions returns to the IWA Event Center located at 521 Perkins Street in Mount Vernon, Illinois as they present Summertime Showdown. One featured match is a Four Corners match as the Freak Show, Project Ego, the O'Neill Brothers, and the Great Heathen Army battle it out for the IWAP Tag Team Championship. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a bell time of 7 p.m. Door ticket prices are $12 for front row and $7 for general admission. Save $2 by purchasing them in advance at the ringside buffet. We'll see you there. Saturday, June 29th, Illinois Elite Wrestling returns to the Elks Lodge in Granite City, Illinois as they present Phase 2, Meltdown. Scheduled to appear are Midwest champion Brandon Espinoza, Kyle Roberts, Sidney Manson, and the IEW debut of Chris Exodus. Door ticket prices are $15 for adults, $5 for kids. Kids 5 and under get in free. To save money on adult tickets, purchase tickets in advance by visiting IllinoisEliteWrestling.ticketleap.com. Saturday, July 6th, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling comes to the Madison County Firemen's Hall located at 9510 Collinsville Road in Collinsville, Illinois. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a bell time of 7 p.m. Everyone with a paid admission gets a chance to win a trip for 2 down to Las Vegas for the 2024 Cauliflower Alley Club reunion in August. Reserve your seats for this great event by going to sicw.org or by calling 618-286-4848. Also, keep your ticket stub from this show to attend the SICW All-Star Wrestling Show tapings located at 823 State Street in East Carondelet, Illinois the following day on Sunday, July 7th. Tapings start at noon. Remember, fans, without you in the seats, there is no wrestling. Make sure you make plans to attend these shows, and we'll see you at ringside.
All right, man. So, like I said, a lot of shows upcoming here in the next couple weeks, and of course, there'll be more added on here as we present next week here. So, liking the flow of how hopefully these transitions of our scenes are okay for everybody here. Once again, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, and of course, we're also on X at FCE Podcast here, guys. So spread and share the love of the show as we keep going on here. So at this time, what I'm going to do here is bring on our featured guest of the evening. Of course, our featured guest has been a wrestling veteran for 12 and a half years now, going on strong. Has wrestled all throughout multiple states in the U.S. and also has done tours up in Canada. And of course, one of those U.S. states has been Hawaii. And of course, wrestling all over with the AIWF as well, representing them as their international heavyweight champion. And we got him here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, please bring your hands together for the one and only Bloodsaw, everybody. Man, I can't get my seats right. Bloodsaw, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Oh, well, what happened? Here we go. I don't know. It's doing its own. Bloodsaw, how you doing, man? Oh, let me get your mic on. I am so sorry. Once again, give me 1 second. Oh, what happened here? Now I can't even get his mic on. What did I do? Oh, give me 1 second here.
There he is.
There we go. I think, sorry, buddy. Maybe I muted your mic and it killed you on your side too. So my apologies.
No, it's all right.
So how you doing,
it said
man?
I had to approve speaking, so that was fine. We're living the dream, brother. How you guys been? I mean, it sounds like you guys been doing a lot of stuff this week, huh?
Yeah, it's been a busy one,
Pretty
but
busy week for everybody around.
That's the best part about wrestling right now. It's busy and thriving, right?
It's great, man. Wrestling is awesome. I mean, just today I've been talking to different AIWF promoters all over the country and all over the world. So, you know, when wrestling is good, wrestling is great, and that's what we're all here to do. So it's a beautiful thing.
Amen.
There you go. Absolutely, man. Yeah. So once again, I know you come out of the insane asylum, but more specifically in the East Coast, Upper East, around the state of Connecticut. We know some crazy people up in Connecticut, from what we know. So at least that's where
Well,
they
yeah,
reside. So don't go near Greenwich.
you got to
That's
be a
bad.
little crazy to stay around this.
Yeah, yeah. There's a Mean Street Posse want to avoid out of Greenwich, so stay away from there. So, uh, oh,
You're not wrong, man. These streets are out here.
oh man, yeah. But well, once again, we thank you for joining us here, and once again, guys, go ahead and hit with your comments in the section here. If you got any questions here regarding with our guest of the evening, go ahead and hit them up here in the chat as well. And oh, did you? Yeah, I don't know who was Super Strike. Okay, yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm looking in the comments and I got that squirrel mentality. I'm gonna stop that right now. But
It's all good, man. There's a lot going on. We got a good picture, a good frame. We got scene changes. It's a whole show. You know what I mean? Bloodsaw is
exactly,
here,
man.
so we're bringing the whole show this week. It's a beautiful thing.
Exactly, man. So yeah, um, so what I will go ahead and start off with here is kind of take a little approach of our initial question here. So, around what age did you start watching? When did profession really catch your attention? You started watching it, and then also, can you recall the moment where you decided that you yourself wanted to become a professional wrestler?
Well, it's that's a real interesting question for me to answer. Unlike most people who are now wrestlers, I actually didn't grow up watching wrestling. I wasn't allowed to. From a young age, believe it or not, I was a little bit of a crazy kid. Um, but the moment for me, I mean, listen, we're all wrestling people here. Everybody remembers Coliseum home video,
Oh yeah, buddy. Yep.
right? Everybody had those. So I believe it was a SummerSlam. I don't remember the year, but Undertaker and the Ultimate Warrior. They were wrestling, and there was a vignette with Paul Bearer, and he goes around his home, and he's got the bodies falling out, and all these things going on, and then here comes the Undertaker to the ring, and I remember I was a young kid, and I'm watching this, and I'm going, man, I don't know that anybody's going to be able to do anything about this. This guy is going to just run over whoever he wants to run over. And a couple seconds later, here comes the Warriors music. It hits. He comes flying down. I believe it was a body bag match, but there was this moment in the match where Taker's got him by the face, and Warrior's fighting his way up, and he's pressing the hand off of his face, and you could watch the paint just ripping off of the skin. And for me, I was like, man, that's cool. And then, for me, that was where wrestling really kicked in. And then a little bit after that, I decided, you know what? I'm going to jump off my refrigerator. So I pulled out my couch cushions and I laid them on my kitchen floor. And I had a wrestling buddy. This is a true story. And I jumped off the fridge, trying to do a big splash. And after that, I was no longer allowed to watch professional wrestling. Fast forward 20 something years later. And I was actually I was playing football and I was doing theater. And a guy up here by the name of Mark Gore gave me a call and he was like, "Hey man, you should try a seminar for wrestling." And I was like, "Oh, I mean that's cool, man. Wrestling's cool and all, but like I don't even know, how do you even get into that sort of a thing?" And I went to a Robbie E seminar. This was on a Saturday in November. I went to a Robbie E seminar. I was the only guy to show up to the seminar. I was there for 3.5 hours. Me and Robbie E hanging out, working out. And I quit my job on Monday. And the rest, as they say, was history, man. I started school that week for wrestling. Um, and December 6th, 2011, day that we live in wrestling infamy. When I walked in, I started getting going. So
Wow.
that's my story, more or less. You know what I mean?
Quit his job and just dived right in.
Yeah.
That's a hero right there.
I was running the gym. Dude, I was running the gym, and I said to myself, you know what, man? I like doing theater. It was cool. Performing was cool. I liked playing football. I liked hitting people. That was cool. And someone said to me, you can get out there. You can hit people. You can entertain the people. You can tell stories. You could be whoever it is you want to be, and maybe you get paid for it. And I thought, well, I might as well take a shot on that while I can. And that
I,
was almost 13 years ago.
I'm almost
14 years
I'm
ago? 3 years ago.
more jelly. It was like Robbie E that you were the first one you hanging out with, man. You and just Robbie E chilling in the gym, pumping weights and throwing each other around for a little bit.
Well, we were in the ring. We were in a ring. It was a show, and it was like a snow day, so nobody else really showed up. They ended up canceling the show that night. There wasn't even a wrestling show. I literally was just there, and just got it going, man. I was like, "What?" He said to me, "He goes, what do you know about wrestling?" And I said, Nothing." So whatever. It was cool, man. But
I jumped on the refrigerator and I'm not allowed to watch it anymore.
Oh
Dude, that's awesome.
Pretty much,
That's
man.
it's funny about the refrigerator thing because I remember imitating Kane one time on one of the neighbor kids and choke slamming him in the middle of the backyard, and I didn't get to watch wrestling for like 3 months, and it was like the worst 3 months of my life. So, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
So
it was cool, man. It was cool. It was just like my formative time watching wrestling was just those Coliseum home videos. So, like, in my current work, what I'm doing now, I'll segue a little bit. I hope it's all right with everybody.
Okay.
Now I show up and I work with Paul Roma at PAPW in East Haven up here in Connecticut, and it's really funny because I watched wrestling for like a grand total of 2 years in the late '80s, and like Paul Roma was, of course, like huge at that time. He's in all the tag matches, and it's like now I like text him Merry Christmas and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's so funny how like a very select group of time in my life in wrestling has still managed to come full circle, which is really cool.
that's a really cool because I'm just a commentator, right? So all I do is sit behind a desk and get to put the sugar on top of the show and the thing, and that's what I love. But I got to hang out with I would say one of my indie idols in wrestling, which was Ricky Reyes. Here once, I picked him up from the
He's really
airport.
cool, dude.
Took him to the venue and stuff, and then we hung out and stuff. And now I get to send him matches. I remember watching him in ROH and stuff back when ROH first, started out, and like just amazed. And then his stuff from New Japan and stuff. So like being able to like hang out and get to message and throw him a happy birthday or something like, and he sends them back to me. Like that's a cool feeling. But now like on that stuff, you're in the industry. You've developed and you're starting to really make your moves. Who are the wrestlers that influenced you in your style and then your ability to keep going and how you like attributes go in the ring now?
Well, that's like a heavy question. I know it seems innocuous, but we got a lot of layers in there, so we'll peel them back slowly. The things I do in the wrestling ring, um, performance wise and action wise, um, it- when I didn't grow up watching wrestling. I watch wrestling a little bit now to study it. Right. I'm a huge fan of the historian of wrestling, like being that and knowing where things come from and why they were there and how they've developed to become something new. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to look at a lot of what I do in the ring, it's heavily influenced movement wise by guys like Rob Van Dam, Eddie Guerrero, and the Texas Tornado. Um, Believe it or not, as like kind of an offshoot guy there. But for me, and size wise, movement wise, athleticism wise, those guys made a lot of sense to me. And when you ask them or you hear them in an interview talking about why they do what they do or did what they did, the logic was always pretty sound. Why does RVD do a frog splash? Well, because if I jump as high as I can and crash on somebody as hard as I can, that's going to do the most damage possible. And I was like, well, that makes a good amount of sense to me. So like maybe other stuff he's doing makes good sense too. Um, but if you were to look at like you said the part about what pushes me in my career now and what keeps me motivated for longevity reasons, right? Um, a couple of people really, and the names I'll throw at you, they're going to be a little bit varied, but it is what it is. I was lucky enough to have a stretch working with Just Incredible. We were kind of wrestling each other for a couple months straight. He was doing really well, and we were talking a lot. And he said to me, he'd been doing it forever already at this point, but he said to me, the most important thing you can always do is never stop training. Never stop trying to give the best you can every day, because he said the second you stop training or working on progressing, or that you forget the basics, everything falls apart. And a lot of people give him a lot of hate for other things, but like for me in my interactions when I was, on the road with him and working him, that was really great advice to me. So it's kind of kept me in the idea that if I'm not there working my basics, working my concepts in the gym, doing my cardio every day, then what do I really deserve from this business? If I'm not giving something into it. And along those same lines, working down at the school with Mario Mancini and Paul Roma, those two guys, they really give, Mario's great because he's the greatest hype man you could possibly have, man. He'll tell you when something is great, and he'll push it for you. I love a good chain wrestle. I can't help myself, so I'll slap a headlock on a guy because let's face it, what are we all at the wrestling matches to see? We want to see some wrestling, right?
Yep.
So I'll slap a headlock on a guy and I'll give a good wrestling call, and the crowd's like, "Yeah, wrestling," because God forbid they want to see some wrestling. So, but Mario's great about pushing me with that, and then Paul, he'll tell you if something's good or not, and he's done a lot to help me keep developing. And like I wear the chains now. It was actually I won a tournament that Paul puts on in memory of Hercules Hernandez, and when I won, I wanted to do something to memorialize Hercules, and Paul, did me the favor of talking to the family, got the permission from them. So when I wear the chains out to the ring, it's in memory of Hercules Hernandez and keeping strong the history of wrestling and where we come from and what we do it for. So guys like that have really done a lot to push my longevity of my training. And then the last guy, if I could mention, I know I've been talking for like 10 minutes here. I'm sorry.
Keep going,
We're
man.
here for you, so you go.
Well, I just feel bad, man. It's your guys' show. I'm just a guest, baby. But Matt Classic, that dude is tireless.
Yeah, we give him 2 thumbs up.
That guy,
absolutely.
Yeah, man. I text him at 9 a.m. I text him at 3 a.m. And he's got somebody for me to contact because somebody somewhere needs the AIWF International Championship defended. And like that guy is on his game 25-8. You know what I mean? Can't give him enough credit for that and the hard work he does. So yeah, man, those are some names for you that have done a lot for me coming up. And
I know I can speak for Ruby on this because Matt Classic's one of the guys that keeps pushing us, and one of the reasons we keep having you amazing AIWF guys coming in and talking, and even some of the ladies throughout the promotion and stuff coming in and talking to us, because this platform, like you said, you take as much time as you want because this platform is designed for you guys to show off and show another side of your personas, your characters, your love for professional wrestling, because that's what we all are. We're all deep down just nerds of this business. That's one of the things that they said last night at our show at NGW is we're all just nerds of this business, and we want to make sure we put on the best performance for the fans, and that's what it's for, and that's what we do this for. And right now we're pulling in the views because we have a great character like you coming in here and sharing these stories with us. So thank you, dude. Thank you to Matt Classic and all those people that keep you motivated.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. No, I really appreciate the chance to come out and talk because, like, it's fun, man. A lot of people assume that if you're a wrestler, you grew up on the stuff, or everybody thinks it's this really nice, clean, even line to get somewhere, and kind of fun to break that apart for people and show them what's really going on in the business.
Yeah.
And I believe that's what sets this show apart from a lot of the other podcasts that want to go out there, whether if you want to be a dirt sheet or if you're just trying to get your feet wet, but you're talking to a guy who's been in the ring over 28 years, and then a guy who's been behind the microphone for only 5, but he's had so much wrestling knowledge before that. So, I mean, it's not like we just picked up a microphone and say, hey, let's talk about wrestling. We like it. No, we do a lot more than that. So it's
Yeah.
So that, and shout out to that, because that is an awesome tournament. I remember watching Power and Glory. Whenever they had them on for a while, I think they should have been pushed a little bit more. But in the WWF era, but like I said, Demolition was battling, Heart Foundation was battling, Rockers were battling. And let me just say, Paul Roma, though, very underrated. Very underrated. That guy was athletic as all get out. And he was actually one of my favorites. I mean, to me, he made the Young Stallions look good. The Young Stallions didn't get as much because Jim Powers was pretty good. I'm sorry. Those guys
Yeah,
didn't get
man.
those, it's a shame that I mean, the Young Stallions should have got a lot more than what they Power and Glory should. Like Paul Roma could have got a lot more, but I will say though, it was a little strange to see him as a horseman. I'm like, it didn't seem like it fit him. He fit the build, but I still, like I said, Paul Roma,
Listen, I don't, hey,
you know, because I think Paul Roma
Paul.
gets a
I will say
different,
this about Paul, man. He's still
yeah.
athletic.
I don't doubt that, but I'm just saying. I mean, to see a guy when I'm watching, marking out
Yeah.
to the TV, and I see a guy that just jumps from the canvas straight up to the top rope to spring off. I'm like, my eyes are bugging out in my head, like, holy cow, this dude. so, so no, I mean, no, Paul Roma,
Yeah.
he was in a different element. Don't get me wrong, the Four Horsemen are great. I mean, and they put great guys in there, but I think Paul Roma had a different mystique about him that he could have offered somewhere else, and I think they just didn't really know where and how to place him in here. But to me, Paul Roma was really good, was a really great talent when he was being used. It's just, I think story wise, they should have done a little bit better with them on that. So that's my opinion on that. But I mean, speaking of which, of course, hanging out with, so PAPW is Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. That's up in Connecticut, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously, with Paul Roma, Mario Mancini, that's where you got your initial training. So, about how long did it take you, or how much training did it take you before they actually gave you your first official match? And then, what do you remember most about your first match experience?
The school I actually started with is not even there anymore. So I didn't start with Paul and them. I started
Oh,
with a
okay.
school in New Haven. It's now defunct and gone, but that's all right. When I first started, it took 5 weeks before I had my first match. Um, I attribute a lot of that to the fact that I treated it like a full time job.
And we lost him.
Yeah, I know. The damn McMahons are taking up all the internet feed in Connecticut.
Yeah, the Connecticut feed must be.
We'll get it back here shortly. Here, as you see, we're trying to reload them. Our instant reboot here, so we'll see how we're going. Yeah, so as we're waiting for him to come back on, once again, we thank you for those who are coming on and watching us here this evening. If you guys need to know here, if you always wonder, here's what we see usually, and of course we had it up here.
X is killing it.
Yeah, X is killing it again. All of our Facebook users. YouTube is actually trying to make a stride, but Facebook, you're slacking again, man. And of course, Twitch is always, we thank you for playing, Twitch, but keep playing.
We got that one fan. That's all right.
Yeah, we got that one fan.
So we thank each and every one of the platforms that you guys choose to watch us on. We are grateful for each and every one of you that get on, subscribe, share the podcast, like it, and come back every weekend with us. So we do it for you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely, and hopefully we're going to get
Bloodsaw
back on here. So hopefully we're leaving his mic and camera options open. So, hey, buddy,
you back?
Sorry, you're having some trouble, man. Can you hear us okay now?
Welcome to the world of live TV, right?
love it. Shit. Okay, so Bloodsaw, can you hear us? I forgot to upload my Jeopardy theme on here. That'd be about the best time to play that right now. But oh my gosh, let's see. Bloodsaw is, I think he's frozen. Man, I would hate to. Here we go. Okay, so there he is. I think he was using this phone. Yeah, he's using. You see that indicator down where he thought he was using his phone. So I said I could get a check if I watched.
Wait for it.
Jimmy, someone lied. So
Thanks for coming by, Jimmy.
Jimmy Harris, of course, a longtime official around the St. Louis area here. Actually, we'll talk about what actually did happen today. And actually, Tyler Cooley was the MC for that. Was the St. Louis Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame happened today? A good number of people going in. And I believe Jimmy Harris is actually part of that. So let's see. As we we got a lot of filler stuff to talk about here, but and as soon as we know, who knows? We may have. Okay, well, like I said, he's gonna keep going here. He may.
What is this question on the thing? Well, you know, while we're still trying to get Bloodsaw back, what did too much happen this past week in WWE?
Too much, yeah. Did too much happen in WWE? Let's kind of talk about that.
Oh, I'm throwing that out really to the fans watching. Like, I want to hear your input, guys. Did too much happen this week in professional wrestling in the WWE universe? I personally, I say no. I say no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about that because a lot happened on Raw, a lot happened on SmackDown, and actually a lot happened on NXT on that. Yeah, so sorry about that. Live television, excuse me here. I love being the host and producing at the same time. It's like, you know, you're directing your own film. So, and then you got to be the actor. So, but no, I mean, all our feeds are good here. Everything's good here. Once again, X is killing it here. If you guys have any comments that happen here right now in WWE, yeah, go ahead. I think he might have. Let's see.
Did you really get back with us? No, not
yeah,
yet.
yeah. Well, let's see. I would try that. Okay.
Shut down. Restart.
Yeah, you may have to go outside to unplug the whole satellite in Connecticut and then plug it back in. See if it works. see if your phone ties onto it. You want to go outside, unplug your node to your neighborhood, plug it back in, and then
Titan Tower's taking up all the internet.
Everybody's taking up the man interwebs up in Connecticut. Can't get signed on.
So what's your verdict on it? Because I personally think I think this week in WWE specifically, it was just jam packed with like hit after hit after hit after hit, and it was this beautiful thing because we don't always get that kind of stuff. They sometimes almost in today's world. Okay, I'm going to say this because the internet wrestling community for wrestling is ridiculous 9 times out of 10, and it's so hard to talk to anybody about it because they're like, oh, it's going too slow, that was too fast. No, dude, relax. Like, that's the great part about wrestling is like things change and things happen. I personally like the hit after hit this week in WWE because I'm biting at the bit right now to get to tomorrow night to watch Raw and see what happens with some of the other conversations that we're going to have. The end of Raw last week was, oh my God, a beautiful thing of cinematography for wrestling, in my opinion. And then you had, you said his name, and we believed, and Joe, Hendry made us all a believer, and he comes out for his thing that he did with the Battle Royale, getting totally screwed over by Mr. Shawn Michaels and stuff. Totally getting screwed over by Mr. Shawn Michaels, because we all know Shawn Michaels had the whole roster going after this great man, and that was ridiculous. And then to top it all off, we get the great Jacob Fatu.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's one thing I forgot to put on here is Jacob Fatu. So yeah, Jacob Fatu now part of the bloodline, and that's something that's crazy, bro. It's um, it's just so now there's four. So now there's four members of the bloodline. And Paul Heyman is always looking like he's getting ready to need a set of depends every time he's walking around Solo or anybody else, because they kind of look like they remind me of the hyenas with Scar in the Lion King.
100%. 100%.
That's what they remind me of. So yeah, I'm going. Yeah, so hopefully, well, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to talk about this more. Well, actually, I don't know what's going on with this.
But like, everybody's been so worried about Solo if he's going to be able to carry this new persona, and he's doing so beautiful, like trying to fill the shoes of Roman Reigns. And is Bloodsaw back? Is Bloodsaw back?
Yeah, I think we had to put him back in here. Yeah, so
get him. Oh, maybe.
Yep. Well, maybe so. Sorry. Hey. Thought we had him on here.
Live TV.
Yeah, live TV. Yeah, you gotta love it. Gotta love it. So, let's see. Let's see if we can get him on here. Hey, bud.
Hey,
we good? All right,
I had to do some technical finagling and use my cell phone.
Well, we're here we go again.
Here we go again.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. So we're like I said, we're kind of doing something here as
this is what happens when you come to bring our beautiful viewers a new style of set, new style of how we produce it, and getting these new tools. And then when you just don't have good internet at times.
Yeah, I think so here, and I can't really say that it's really ours, but let's try to see what I can do here. Okay.
But back to what I was saying about Solo and stuff. While you help Bloodsaw get back in here, I personally think not Bloodsaw. I personally think Solo's filling in this new role very well, and really coming into his own. And we're seeing a new style of him. Good blood, good buddy.
Are we good?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine. So
can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. Yes, absolutely. So
sorry
absolutely.
about that, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes
I do headlocks more than tech support. You know.
I mean, your penalty kick's better than your Wi-Fi. That's all I'm saying, brother.
Hey, listen, it's called the you know, it's called the shush kick. That's actually the T-shirt, man. So, do you know the whole thing about that kick or no?
No, I don't. Like I said, in the green room for a bit when it first came on, like I was just blown away by it, and I had to go back. You had me because I watched that thing like 5 or 6 times. I was like, holy shit!
So one of the things I learned a long time ago. I studied a lot with Ox Baker. back when he
Mm-hmm.
was still alive. I had a chance to Ox one time had said to me, he was like, wrestling is as real as you make it, as is anything entertainment. It's as real as you make it. And a lot of people in wrestling, and I'm sure you guys have all seen this, they throw a kick or they throw a slap and they make a noise on their thigh, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you know that's all right, I guess. So the thing about the shush kick is I like everybody to get real quiet, and everybody gets to be real pin drop quiet, and then I make sure my hands are up nice and high in the air, and then I kick somebody as hard as I possibly can. And the thing about it is that wrestling, for a lot of guys, it's fake. But is it fake?
Mm,
Because how'd I kick him?
Yeah.
I
beautifully,
kicked him.
right through the uprights.
I mean,
That's it.
unless if your last name is Jackson, then it may be fake. But otherwise,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go out on a limb on this, Ruby. You can vouch. The first thing I typed back when you sent me all the stuff, and I went and started doing my research. I'm like, holy cow, that kick, brother, was stunning and amazing. And I personally think it's the best one in the business. Like as of right now, like best
Thank
one in the business, 100%, no lie. Like that thing was breathtaking.
Thank you very
that,
much,
that
man.
was a good one.
It's the T-shirt, man. Everybody's got to get real quiet, and for a quick second, so I'll do this kick. So it's it's the fun, man. It's the fun of it.
Yeah.
You know.
So what I'll do here is because I think I got stuck on my question here, and I'll just go here, just to kind of reiterate about how long you trained before you got your
Oh
first official match, and then
yeah,
what do you remember most about your first match experience on that?
yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's when everything went crazy. So if it happens
Yep.
again, it must be the question's fault. Um, So, so I'd gone down to my school, and he says to me, "We're here from 6 to 11, Monday through Thursday." And I was like, "All right, cool." And so I showed up at 6, and I stayed till 11, and I did that Monday through Thursday every single week. And if he didn't have a show, he'd be down at the school too. So I'd come in on a Friday, Saturday, whatever day I could. Um, so by the time a month had gone by, I was 80, 100 hours into training, and I got my first shot of the match, and it wasn't anything real crazy or fancy. I had a double shot Friday. It was a birthday party for a kid. Um, at the school, at the school. And what was
Oh,
kind of fun too, I should probably preface this by saying I was the first student there, so it was just me and him training every day. There was nobody taking away my time of hey that sucked or hey this could be better, right? So,
yeah.
anyways, I wrestled this match for a bunch of little kids, and some of the things I remember about the match is that I took a rainbow chop right to the chest, and I had 5 fingertip marks on my chest, and I was like, "Well, that hurts, but that's okay. We're gonna be fine." Um, and I remember being real like you forget to talk to people, you forget to entertain for that second because you're so nervous, right? And then I left there and went down to Queens, New York, and I did a battle royal, which again was not fancy and it was not crazy, but it was very different because you're in the Royal Rumble. There's all these people around. There's, fists and nonsense flying and people pretending they can do a spot in the middle of a match, right? But it was in New York, so it was an entirely different crowd of people. And uh, if you guys have ever, if you guys, I don't know if you guys have ever been into New York, but the New York crowd is a wild crowd, man, and they'll cheer for you if they like your look. And I came out with face paint. At the time, I wore like jean pants, and they were like, "Oh, face paint guy, I hope you win." And I was like, "Man, I don't even know what I'm doing here," you know. Um, but like, it was cool because
So that's how Jeff
you
Hardy
just,
got fans.
dude, that's it all starts somewhere, baby. It all starts somewhere. But it was cool, man. Yeah, I think on that show I talked a lot with Tony Nese. That was when Tony Nese was in between his
Ooh.
jobs. So I
Ooh.
got to talk to him a little bit, and you know, I just hear from some cool. I've been very lucky, man. A lot of the guys that like are now doing stuff I've hung out with a lot and like worked with a lot. It's just a matter of like right place, right time for everything, you know. So,
Amen to that.
hmm but
That's
yes,
cool.
that was my first match experience. And to be fair, after I had that match, all I did was go back to training and be like, I need to train more, because clearly this is a lot, you know. But yeah, man, I was there. I was there full time. So I quit my job for it. So I was there with the gym full time, for the first 5.5 years of my career. That was all I did was wrestle or lift. So I got real lucky, got a lot of real cool matches, a lot of real cool chances, did a lot of really cool things. I toured Canada with Bret Hart, Chavo. I wrestled Lanny Poffo for my 13th match ever. Like a lot of real
Wow.
weird stuff like that, man. You know that you just kind of
That,
get lucky.
that's one of Ruby's inspiration is Lenny Poffo.
Is it?
Yeah. The great poet
Come on.
himself. Yes.
You want to hear a funny story? You want to hear a really
Go
funny story?
ahead.
I always want to hear something funny.
All right. So here I am, 13 matches into wrestling. I'm on a tour of Canada. Bret Hart's the guest commissioner every night. Chavo Guerrero's there. The guy who is now Brian Idol, I actually rode up with him. So I'm hanging out in the car with him. And back then he's called Earl Cooter. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that. I don't know. Don't tell. But anyways, so I'm hanging out with all these guys. And Lenny comes up to me, and I'm painted up, you know, look like I look. And he goes to me, hey, I'm going to do a poem about Randy when I get in the ring. For those of you who aren't necessarily big wrestling fans, but I don't know what you're doing, Macho Man and Lanny were also from Canada. So I'm in Canada. Again, Bret Hart is there. We're in a hockey stadium. There's like 2,000 people around the ring. And
Wow.
he goes, why don't you cut a promo shitting on Randy and me? And me being 13 matches in, I'm like, you know what, bro? That sounds like a great plan. I like where your head's at. I think I should do that because, man, everyone's going to really be mad at me for that. So I'm like, again, I look like I look. And I go out and I cut a haiku because, in my infinite wisdom, the best thing I could do to slap back at the genius was to also write a poem. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, bro. I mean, listen, I think at this point I was 7 months into wrestling. So, we're painting the picture here. We're painting the picture. So I go out and I cut this promo, and then he takes the mic and he cuts his promo, and obviously, you know, it's beautiful and eloquent, and it's all about Randy, and uh, we're in Canada, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is great," and everyone's like, "That guy is a total douche," and so we have this match, and we're wrestling, and again, I'd like to reiterate, I'm 7 months in. This is match number 13. Okay, we're not really standing on big legs here. He had asked me, "What do you do really well?" And I said, "I do a great rolling thunder." And he was like, "What's that?" And instead of saying, "You know what, sir, you're right. I shouldn't do that. That's a terrible plan. What do you want me to do?" I said, "Here's a YouTube video of what it looks like." Okay. If we're not painting the picture yet, I don't know what will. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So, so
Wow.
I put Lanny down in the corner, and I'm set for the Rolling Thunder. And I go to hit the thunder, and I'm supposed to not hit it per se. And he rolls uh, away, but not in a way that I'm not going. Okay. So here I am in the air, and I look up above my head, and I go, "Huh, sure looks like I'm going to land right in his head. That's probably not. That's probably not a good thing at all, is it?" So I try to like pop a handstand and throw my body a little bit, but about 240 pounds of Bloodsaw comes crashing down on Lanny Poffo, who at the time was not a spring chicken. Rest in peace to Lanny, but you know, so so he doesn't exactly hop up, but he gets up, and I'm like, "Brother, are you alive?" And he's like, "Throw some punches at me," and I'm like, "Yeah, man, you got it." At this point, I'm like, "Oh man, I am so fucked." So I'm throwing punches at Lanny, and he counters, hits me with a hip toss. hits me with the moonsault, and we get out of there. I get to the back in the locker room, and I should have probably mentioned the booker for this tour was Bushwhacker Luke. So yeah, yeah, you can like it gets better, right? So I get back to the locker room, and there's Bushwhacker Luke, and for about 2 hours, he ran me up one side and down the other about everything I had done wrong. And honestly, I was like, "Well, you are yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Of course, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. I don't know what I was thinking, sir." And like I took it. I took it because I was like, "Man, he is not wrong. He's been doing this a lot longer than me." And after about 2 hours, he let me get changed. And then we went to the bar and he bought me a beer. And he was like, you're a good kid. You'll be all right. You just don't act like a fucking Arctic Ozark, mate. All right. And I was like, yes, sir. You got it, sir. So, so you know, and that was that.
So with some
Yeah,
of these great stories and stuff, and the development of the character that we all know now as Bloodsaw, how did the mindset go into building who you are today, and what attributes did you implement from past wrestlers to build this persona now, or is there a persona that was built off of another wrestler?
sure. Well, so it wasn't really built on a wrestler per se because, like I said, I had grown up watching some wrestling, but not a lot. I mean, the face painted element comes a lot from like the Ultimate Warrior influence. Um, you know, some of the stuff he would say when he was later on in life, and he'd be like, sometimes you just got to go into the woods and walk all fucking night until you figure out who you are. So I took that, and so one of my things I like to say is, sometimes I forget who I am. I go walk in the woods until I remember who I am, and then I paint it on my face so I don't forget. You know,
Ooh, I like that actually.
so that's one of my things is like, sometimes when things in the career and the win and loss column or the title column, they're not quite going the right way. Sometimes you got to go take a walk in the woods. Take a walk in the woods. Who are you? Why are you? What are you doing? And then when you figure it out, put it on your face. So that's that. But then for me, some of the other elements, I mean, um, right now it's Bloodsaw Unchained. Since I won the chains here and I got the
Mm-hmm.
permission from the Hercules family because the Unchained was I didn't want to be Hercules because that doesn't make any sense. That's him, you know. So what happens when you break the chains, man? How do you free yourself? What happens when you remove the limiters? And so Bloodsaw Unchained, I don't necessarily hold back. I do my gorilla press, and if I want to pick somebody up over my head, I'm going to. I can military press 315 pounds. So unless you weigh more than that, you're probably not telling me no. If I tell you you're going up in the air, if I want to suplex somebody and throw them across the ring, I'm going to do it because I can deadlift 500 pounds, and you're not going to tell me no. So it's like those limiters, and that's a lot of the where I'm at with it now. The top hat always a part of the character. And some people like to hate on the top hat because of the dents and the bumps and the bruises. But I finally got it how I like it. I think really got the right character finally. But I've always felt that wrestling is a show. It's got to be a show. We're here to have fun and be in the ring. And so um, this is sort of my concept of welcome to my show. You know, welcome, welcome to who I am. The wave of the top hat and the welcome in situation. That's always been very important to me. So that's a lot of how the character has come to be who I am. But it really is. It's take who you are, turn it up to 11, and then see if that fits wrestling. You know,
There
some
you
people
go.
turn up to 11. That's not what wrestling wants from you. So if you're not going to give wrestling what wrestling wants from you or needs from you, then you got to reassess it. But yeah,
Dig it.
that's
I dig it.
it's a lot of the weirdness there.
I mean, I was loving some of your promos because I was getting some Mad Hatter vibes, and I was like, I was getting with it. I'm like, this is good stuff. You're a sight to see in the ring and out of the ring, my friend.
Thank you very much. I do my best, man. I try to make it worthwhile for everybody. If you're showing up, I'm going to try to give you everything I can to make it worth your time. For
That's
whatever it
good.
is. But if you're watching my promo, my match, you're buying a ticket, a T-shirt, a face mask, whatever you're buying, man, make it worth your time.
Amen to that.
There you go. Well, speaking of the work and people showing up, with the years that you have, I mean, obviously you've gone from large crowds to small crowds, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, so in the industry, whether it be working the size of the crowd or maybe in the region or the location where you're at that point of time of the show, what, in your opinion, what types of crowds are the toughest to work and why?
Oh, toughest. That is not. I'm really glad you went that direction because if you're about to ask me for the best crowds, I was about to have to politely decline because I just like I can't, you can't. I don't know, man. Any crowd's the right crowd. The toughest crowds to work. Um, so okay, we'll say this is the hardest. It's not, but so Eastern Canada, right? I'm fluent in English and Spanish, and I'm learning Japanese, but I don't
Oh,
speak any French.
yeah.
So touring Quebec is really hard because when you're in Quebec, you're like you want to say hi to somebody, you want to give a high five, and you want to, you know, but like also they have no idea what you're talking about, and so it was cool though because it's like the ultimate challenge of how do you get your point across anyway. I think developmentally for me, I do a lot of jibber jabbering. I like to. So when I go to a place where the jibber jabber doesn't matter anymore, and you have to be like, I'm gonna hit him, and you gotta really, it's like you learn to make yourself better to try to rise to the occasion. I think that's a pretty hard crowd to work, but um, hard crowd is subjective. It's like you know, every time you show up to a place, you got to figure out what they want, what they need. Um, bring it back to the Ox Baker thing. Ox Baker always said wrestling is a circus, right? Every circus isn't just lion tamers, tightrope walkers, jugglers, clowns, etc. Every circus has all of those things because one fan might not care about the lion tamer, so they need the other stuff to get them bought into it. So when you go to a place, the most important thing you can do as a as an entertainer or wrestler is look around the locker room. What's going on there? If there's two 7 foot tall dudes over there and they're getting ready to go in there and slap meat with each other for a half hour, well, brother, that's probably not your spot for the night. So you got to figure out what you can do to be the right entertainer for the people. And like a lot of the times, some of the times, it ain't what you want it to be. It ain't all flash and glory all every single time. But if you do it the right way, then you'll eventually get that shot too. So like, I don't know, man. Working a hard crowd is not being able to talk to anybody. That's hard. But otherwise, it's not so bad.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, because I would think that the type of crowds that are tough to work, maybe like some of these some of these shows that are like do I want to say bot shows or like like say for instance like I never worked a birthday party, but it's yeah, I mean it is what it is. um
Listen, brother, it's a payday. When you quit your job to wrestle, you don't turn down much. You know what I'm saying? Um,
That's fair.
yeah.
wrestling a birthday party, man, is actually. So I'll give you an example of something that like might help like understand. So one time I did a birthday party, and at this birthday party, it was a birthday party event where they wanted a wrestler to come and like teach them some wrestling at their house, right? And at the time, I was the assistant trainer, so not a big deal. Book me for 2 hours. I'll bring one of the other guys, and we'll teach you how to do a lock up, and we'll do a headlock, and we'll do some weird stuff, right? So we get there, and we go through some of that, and then I'm like, hey, does anybody want to do anything else? Like thinking they're gonna say, well, let's learn some head backflips or some moonsaults or something crazy, because they're like 9-year-old kids. And instead, the birthday boy looks at me and he goes, hey, you play soccer? And I was like, I mean, not well. And he was like, well, I want to play soccer. Will you play soccer? Will you be on my team? And I was like, yeah, man, let's go play soccer. So like, I played soccer for an hour with a bunch of little kids, and like, I don't know, it wasn't even wrestling, but like,
That's a
you know, in that moment, that's what they wanted the wrestling to be. That's what they wanted. So it's like, did I want to go play soccer? Absolutely not. I'm terrible. I'm not a runner. I'm a lifter. Very heavy, and I can do flips and stuff, but like, I'm not built for this nonsense. So it's like, it's just stuff like that, man. It's like, how do you do what they need? And that's any of those bot shows. It's the same. It's just, you got to find the niche, you got to find the need, and then once you find it, go for it, baby. Just go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Maybe you guys are better at soccer than me, though. I don't know.
Oh
no,
God, Lord,
no.
no.
I'm 280 pounds. I don't run, brother.
Yeah. No, I'm heavier than that,
I'm
and even back in my
I'm
soccer
250.
days, my soccer days. Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember. Here's a story from high school, real quick. I remember one time being in high school, and we were at a party, and it got kind of loud, and the officers came up, and I literally just sat there. I'm like, you don't. Everybody else scattered, and I'm just like, I'm in trouble.
To take this loss. Yeah,
Well,
I get that.
man,
I ended up just getting a ride home. That was it.
Well, we've actually come to our part in the evening here that we kind of take a, not like we haven't been laughing already, but we're going to be taking another humoristic side here to looking at the business through the art of memes. Everybody, that's right. It is time to reveal this week's wrestling's gold memes. Everybody, yes, indeed. That's right. Wrestling's gold memes. And hey, how do you like that costume?
That,
Daisy? That was pretty cool, wasn't it? He's really,
Fancy
yeah,
transition.
it's
thanks,
beautiful.
buddy. Appreciate
No, sorry,
It's all right. Yeah, maybe. It's hard to be producing and being on camera. You know, we got to keep the party rolling. I know it's hard for me to keep it rolling, but oh my goodness. So let's check out this week's wrestling gold memes. So you remember this back after the Royal Rumble here, Z?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, with Mr. Drew McIntyre here, kind of putting the kibosh on CM Punk, and then well, after Clash of the Castle, we've got a new view of this now. We got we got got Mr. Drew McIntyre laid in the dirt now with that infamous 2 count by CM Punk in the rough shirt. So that's a thing of beauty there.
I can't wait for them two to actually lock up finally. Like, this is such a beautiful story arc. It's gorgeous all the way through, and these two are awesome talent. So to finally watch them go at it, it's gonna be a fun one.
Oh heck yeah, it's gonna be nice. So let's see for our next one here. Oh yeah, me and my homies after discovering corn in 6th grade.
Hey, I resemble that comment. Come on now.
I was Damian Priest, so I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't fit anywhere in this picture, so I mean,
I was a big corn kid. I like, yeah.
yeah, I was out of school when corn was on the radio, so you know that's. If I'm not showing my age, then I don't know what I'm doing here. But anyway, let's see our next one here. Do we have a 2-part? I think we have a multi-parter here. Oh yeah, our preferred weapons of choice. Let's run them down, shall we? Let's see. First off, we have a Triple H. You know, with the sledgehammer.
Amen.
You know,
Okay.
yeah. Let's see. Then of course the barbed wire baseball bat. You know, Cactus Jack. Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then let's see, Sting with the infamous black baseball bat.
I can't wait to see where this is going.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
And we got one more for you here. My mom.
You know what I love about this is Zelina Vega has been using the flip flop now more as a weapon, and it it works great because there's that the stereotype about Puerto Rican moms and all that stuff. So I'm all about this. This is the greatest thing ever for me.
Can come from anywhere.
Yeah, I mean I can't. My mom was pretty damn good at throwing a flip flop. And not like one of those. I'm talking about like a Birkenstock flip, like the Birkenstock sandals. You know,
flop. That's just a flop.
That thing hurt, and my mom could curve that son of a bee like round walls. Man, it was crazy.
She threw like a boomerang.
Oh, dude, I am not joking at all.
Shoot, mine was if I put it to my preference, it'd be the wooden spoon. So she got tired of breaking them, and so it was like one day she like broke one over me, and I just like looked at her like a no sell, and she's like, "Ah, forget it," and she never bought another wooden spoon ever again. So let's see, what do we got for our next one? I forgot here. Oh yeah. Me in 1997, dude. These graphics can't get any more realistic. The graphics. Looked like it looked like WCW or like Revenge or something.
I think that's Revenge, if not mistaken.
I think it's Revenge too.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that cool cut graphic of Goldberg there.
His muscles are so real.
If he had a singlet on, it could be Scott Norton. Are you sure?
That's Goldberg.
You sure? I don't know. Dean Malenko with a haircut. It's crazy.
Scott Norton was an underrated wrestler.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say you give Flash Norton and Goldberg the same moveset, but that'd be an insult to Flash Norton. So
yeah, why would you just disrespect Flash like that?
And for our next slide, we've ironically I don't know why this always happens. Somehow some names get brought up on this show before I show anything here. This is gonna be bad. So
oh god.
Me, I don't like my coffee too bitter. So my coffee pot that I left on overnight. Yes, that's Bret Hart sitting in a cup of coffee saying "Don't go for it."
Oh my god.
You were talking earlier about him in one of your stories saying Bret Hart. I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, here we go.
Listen, I hung out with Bret a little bit on the side. I never heard about Bill, but like, hey man, you know.
I was just on a podcast just recently talking about the bitterness and stuff, and that he would love to bury it and get it over with. Like,
oh my god, that's yeah. Obviously, haven't watched any of the specials on Vice either. So, or at least with the the Who Killed WCW. that's a show. Yeah, what's up, Texan? What's going on, man? Good to see you hanging around. So yeah,
the one thing about Brent, I think it will be is, I'm sorry, but this is one of those jokes of wrestling now that I just enjoy. Like, I enjoy it's become so synonymous with the two that it's like Kevin Nash tearing his quad. I don't give a crap how many times I hear somebody make a joke about Kevin Nash tearing his quad, and I enjoyed Kevin Nash, but it's still funny to me. Like, it's still that, like, it happened. I'm sorry, but like, it's one of those funny things for me.
That's yeah, I know. It's sometimes you just can't help but laugh. But oh my goodness! But that is, I think that was the last one. I think so. Yep. So that's
a good round.
So that's this week's Wrestling Golden Memes, everybody. And we fade out to that. So, so I think we. Oh yeah, you got the next question.
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
Brother. I'm getting all.
So we go from jokes to something more serious. You know, you've been around the industry now, and had the opportunity to form your own faction. We talked about the Four Horsemen earlier. You got to form your own group. Give us a rundown of how the group came to be and who were in the group and what accomplishments did you guys get to make as a group.
Which one are you talking about? You're talking about so I had two tag teams that did pretty well. My first tag team was called the Killers of the Community. Teamed up with this guy Nocturne, which was cool because at the time I was incredibly green and he was not. So he taught me a lot, showed me a lot. We were tag champions in Connecticut, tag champions in Ohio. We actually worked with Phil Nitro Monahan and Gideon Malice out there. They were running at the time with Paul Bearer. So this was kind of here's a bittersweet one. We were going to get to work with Paul Bearer, and then he passed away 2 weeks before the show. We were supposed to wrestle these guys, so I never actually seen work with him in person. So that was a bummer. But as that tag team, we also got to work a lot with the House Party at the time. They were All Money Is Legal as well. So now that dude's over. Was it Big Boofa? He's over in China, killing it in wrestling still. So like a lot of cool stuff with them. And then after that, I had a group called the Normals. So Normals was myself, Jekyll, Chance DeMoss. At one point, Abyss came in for a show and he joined the group.
Oh wow.
So that was kind of cool. It was actually he joined the group for a show that ended up being Ox Baker's last show of wrestling, and it was a really cool show. All right, here's a weird story for you, but it's kind of fun. You guys ever seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yes.
Okay, so at the time, I told you I'd done some theater in my day. At the time, Buzz Bloodsaw is Rocky Horror was happening in Connecticut. It was on tour, so I was wrestling and touring and doing all this stuff. So for this one show, the Normals had a flash mob come in, and Abyss and Ox Baker did the time warp in the ring with a bunch of leather-clad weirdos and myself
That's
in
awesome.
face paint. It was super cool. And Ox Baker had a feather boa on, and Abyss was out there dancing and all that good stuff. And after the show, Ox was like, that was the most wrestling thing I've ever done. And I was like, because he really believed that like wrestling was a big circus, so he thought it was phenomenal. But then after that show, went and hung out with Abyss and like got a lot of advice from him and talked a lot about what to do with it and how to get somewhere and how to present yourself and what it takes to do a good sizzle reel and who to send it to and stuff like that. So, but yeah, as that group, so Jekyll and I ended up tagging up a little bit, and we went and worked for Matt Classic 8, 9, 10 years ago, something like that, down at a show in Tennessee, and we won a 2-hour and 15-minute 44 tag team gauntlet that we started and won for a shot for a shot at the tag titles that night. It was something ridiculous like that. I mean, fact check me if you will, because I'd like to know the exact numbers and who we wrestled. But it was cool. So we ended up doing that and wrestling for a shot at the AIWF tag titles that night. And yeah, man. So as that group, I got to do a lot of that, a lot of work like that. And oddly enough, nowadays, Jekyll and I were not tag teaming anymore, but we do still travel together and we get on the road. And I mean, we've been driving together for almost 10 years, so we've done a lot of really cool stuff. So
you kind of covered all the bases on that question, so I'm down with it. Now, okay, so Abyss is one of those characters for me that I enjoy him. Don't get me wrong. One of the best big men in my opinion in the newer era of professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. But I am such a Joseph Parks fan that I believe it does not get the credit he deserves because of how like predominant Abyss was. But Joseph Parks, where it is for me, like when he made that was solid gold.
I mean, that's the business, though, right? You know what I mean? You got to be able to have some fun and reinvent. If you can't have some fun and reinvent, I mean, if you're not having fun out there in the ring, they're gonna know. So like, have some fun with it, man. But he was cool. He taught me a lot of stuff about wrestling and respect and how you treat the next generation. That was more so if we're going to talk about like Abyss and the stuff that I give him really a lot of credit for, I've met a lot of people in wrestling. I met a lot of really cool people, and I met a lot of real big dicks. And like, you got to take it for what it's worth. That's okay. You know, maybe that dude was having a bad day. That's all right. But Abyss, I'll never, I'm sitting there at the bar with him, and obviously he's Abyss. And at the time, I'm maybe 3 years into wrestling at that point, like maybe 3 years in. So he just drops he drops his card on the bar top. He says to the bartender, bring over like 15 beers and X number of shots, whatever it is, right? So I'm like, oh man, that's cool. Thank you so much. And I grab one. And he's like, okay, what else? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I could take a shot. So I'm like, oh, so I pick up a shot. And he goes, well, you still got a bunch of fingers left. You can't carry more than that? And I was like, well, I don't want to be rude. And he goes, dude, I'm buying drinks. Get them while they're there. Come on, brother. Catch up to the game. He's like, I'm trying to take care of you guys. So I'm like, he's busted my stone. So I've got 4 beers in each hand. And he's like, now you get the game. This is how you got to do it when you take care of people. And I was like, man, but it was just really cool because he was not like condescending about the fact that he was who he was. He was willing to talk to you, have some fun with you, rib you in a funny way instead, and be like, "Oh, come on, man, I'm taking care of you guys. Let me take care of you guys. What are you doing wrong here?" And so, like for me, when I think about Abyss, he's a guy that cares about the industry and the business and the next generation coming up. So I give him a lot of credit for that, and not just taking, I was this champ, I was that champ, I'm a promoter, I'm a recruiter for these guys now, and you got to kiss my feet. You know what I mean? He could have done that, and it would have been legitimate. It would have been fair, and you couldn't have been mad at him for it. But he didn't do that. He was a nice guy, genuine guy. He wanted to like take pictures with us after the show. He wanted to take pictures and do promos so that like he took a picture with my group, and he was in it, and he goes, there. Now you guys can sell this picture and say that Abyss is in the picture. And so like he did that to help us with our merch sales. And like he did a lot of stuff that he didn't have to do that was really cool of him to do. So I think he doesn't get enough credit for being stuff like that.
Respect there, yeah.
Absolutely, man. So moving on here to your singles as
Yeah.
success here. Uh, so obviously, see you carrying the belt earlier, the
Yeah.
AIWF International Heavyweight Championship, and of course, loving all the gold that AIWF has put out there, especially with their current World Championship that they have. That gold, that the Golden Boy Greg Anthony is held now for almost a year.
Yeah. Over a year. He's past a year.
Yeah,
Past a year now.
he just passed it just recently.
Oh, okay, awesome. So you've also mentioned here to us that you have actually successfully defended that title since you won it at least 30 times. So
yeah.
So first off, when did you become champion? Who did you defeat for it? And out of your defenses that you've had for your title, who has been your toughest opponent to defend it against?
All right. Lots of questions. Breaking down slow.
Yeah.
I won the title. I believe it was late February, early March. I got to look back exactly at the date because. So I won a 6-person gauntlet for the title, which was cool. I had actually been a champion at PAPW. I was one of their champions, and I retired the belt. And I said to Classic, I'll retire the belt. We'll drop the belt if you'll bring it in for a tournament. And so he brought it in. And we did a one-night gauntlet. I went through 6 guys. Winning the title was actually kind of a pain. Going into the match, I had a couple of dudes hit me with some sticks. I got some real actual bruised up ribs. I had like a floating rib bruise going into the actual matches, which was awesome. Love that for me. But all was well, all was good. Came out of there from the other side, and so I've been trying to defend my title at least twice a weekend since I've won it. So I've been on the road a ton, going different places. In terms of like the most difficult defenses, I'm trying to think. I've had a couple of really cool ones with this guy Alan Compass. and they're cool because like Alan Compass. So he and I had a feud going up here in Connecticut last year. We ended it up with a pretty hardcore match. I ended up blowing out my quad. Um, was That was kind of crazy. I had like a hematoma between my quad and the bone, so I couldn't quite extend my leg for a little while. It was a pretty intense match. But since then, we've had a ton of like. So we went down for the AIWF anniversary show, and we wrestled down there in front of that crowd, and the crowd was hot, and he was going like into it, and that was a good defense, man. That was hardcore. I'm pretty sure I won it with a submission because I couldn't. You know, it's like I always feel like any match I have to end with a submission, then that's got to be a decent one because if I can't knock you out and make you stay down, and I just got to rip something off your body, then you're really making me earn it that day. You know what I mean? I like to hit a good single leg rolling crab, and if I got to sit in your back and try to tear your leg off, man, you're pushing me somewhere that I don't want to be. So,
Right?
you know, I wish you would just stay down. Um,
Yeah.
that was a cool one. I'm trying to think of like, I haven't had anyone, no chair shots or chain shots. Well, I had one chain shot, one kendo stick shot. I've had a couple people try some dirty things, but I think my match with Alan Compass down at the AWF 32, that was pretty cool. I liked that one in terms of good defenses. Footage out there somewhere. I'll find it.
And so it's been since February this year you've won it, and then you've defended it over 30 times since then.
Yeah.
So we're getting to the end of June. So man, that is a lot of So you're a real fighting champion, man. You're not sitting back like once a month maybe. No, it seems like every weekend you're defending that, if not twice you're defending it on some weekends.
Yeah, so I do my best to defend it every weekend at least twice. And if I go to a show and there's two people there that want a shot, more than happy to wrestle twice on the show. Doesn't bother me, doesn't phase me. I've done it quite a few times where like I'll come out, I'll wrestle one guy, some other guy wants to come out and run their mouth. Let's run it later on in the night. Give me 20 minutes to drink a Gatorade and a half a Red Bull, and let's get back in the ring. Come on, see what you got. You know, I'm serious. Like, yeah. So every weekend. So I'm trying to think. Like right now, going into July, the first weekend with the 4th of July. I don't think I have a show that weekend. I think, 4th of July, everybody kind of likes to relax and do their thing, and that's cool. I respect that. I got 2 shows right now on the 13th. The following weekend, I got 2 shows, both in Massachusetts, one in each end. Following weekend, I think I got 2 shots down in Tampa. The following weekend after that, I think I'm back up in Connecticut for another shot. And then I think I have another one. I can't look at my calendar. I'm worried I'm going to crash the phone again because now I'm on my phone. I don't want to crash anything. But I think I right now have 7 or 8 matches already set up for the month of July to defend it. So,
Wow.
yeah, man.
Wow.
You can't sit back if you want this thing, If you really want to get out there and you want to do something, hit the gym, get strong, get fast, and go show something.
So you're proving yourself week in and week out with the title as it is right now. What kind of short-term and long-term goals do you have out for you for the future, man? Because you're doing all this stuff and you've accomplished so much in the industry already. But you got to be thinking about the future now, too, not only just defending this title like the champion that you are.
Well, man, short-term goal, I'm looking to get to Europe for 2 weeks in September. I'm talking to some promoters. AIWF's got a big following over there in Europe, and I want to get over there to Europe. I want to defend the title. I was talking to a guy in the south of France. I was talking to a couple of guys in England, one guy in Poland. I believe there's another guy in Germany. There's a lot of guys, all right? A lot of guys all over the place, right? So that's like the short-term goal for me. The long-term goal, I said I've been learning Japanese, fluent English, fluent Spanish. I've got Duolingo on my phone, and I'm on day like 890 of learning Japanese every single day. And so the long-term goal will be to take this thing over to Japan and see how my shush kick fares up against some of the strong style guys in Japan, and whether or not they can hit me back as hard as I'm going to hit them.
Well, now your goal just became one of my favorite things to watch in wrestling because I want to see you knock some little Jap dudes' heads off. Like, there's some real hard hitting guys over there. Like, you and Kenta would be a just stunning match
I
because
would love it.
you guys have hard hitting kicks, and that
I
would be
would love
one
it.
that I'd love to see for you. So yeah, I can't wait to see that long term goal become a thing, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing is like, you know, like I said, I've been taking Japanese now for almost 900 days. I know enough to tell you my name and what time it is, and we'll see. You know, it's like, you know, but it's like it's hard, man. Japanese. It took me 90 days just to learn the alphabet, let alone start to learn the words. Pardon me, it's going to plug in my phone here, so don't mind the background shift, and nobody gets seasick. But it took me a while to learn this stuff, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, like I would say, put some time in, put the dedication if you want something. Well, I want it, so I'm going to learn Japanese. So when I get the chance, I can go there, represent myself well, represent what we're doing well, and hopefully make good impressions. So that's uh
Yeah,
that's the long term.
My goodness. Yeah, well, 90 days just to try and learn the alphabet, and then yeah, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's one of the hardest languages out there, along with like Mandarin and I
Mhm.
mean, goodness gracious, it's like I would have no clue. It's like I just nod my head every time you finish the sentence, like yeah, yep,
Yeah, yeah. Like
maybe point, you know.
Boku no namae wa Katsuiki no Kugiri. That's my name is Bloodsaw in
Oh
Japanese.
yeah,
Uh,
word.
Nice.
Um,
yeah.
Word.
If anybody in Japan
Let's
wants,
take a word on it. They told me in high school I had to learn English before I could learn a foreign language. So
one day I'll learn
that is
that.
not a lie.
Figure if I learn Japanese, English won't be so hard to master next. You know, we'll get
right,
there.
right.
shoot.
I like this guy.
My gosh. So man, I think I got one more here for you, and
Yeah, okay,
I
brother.
mean you've gotten I mean you've actually gotten some stories here that we've some added bonuses, which is great stuff. Is there any other, like, whether it be a road story or a fan experience, is there something that something else that you can share with us? That's, of course, and like I said, we've been kind of chuckling quite a bit here. It can either be funny or if it's something memorable to you, like another special fan experience that's stuck with you so far in your career.
Um, yeah, I mean, for me the biggest things, if it's going to be memorable, are all of the times where you can take somebody and afterwards when they come up to you, what you do is meaningful to them. You know, I'm really big on like fan interaction, little kids coming up to you and talking to you, all that kinds of stuff. I had an interesting one. This was probably about 3 weeks ago, right? So I'll just give you a recent one that was kind of cool, stuck with me, and it reminded me why I really like what we do. So, um, we had a show at a brewery, fairly innocuous show, right? It's got to be a 21 plus show, so you're not thinking it's gonna be something like that. So I come out to the ring and I'm doing my deal, and if you watch any of my stuff, I come out to the ring. You know, what's my name? Bloodsaw. You want to see something awesome? You know, what do you want to see? You want to see wrestling? Cool. Stuff like that, right? I'm doing my thing. And this guy, he's sitting in the front row. And like I say front row, but it's a brewery show. So like, you know, he's drinking in the front. How about that? And he's kind of like sitting there and he's kind of shy, man. And he's kind of like, you know, sitting down, hands folded, looking down, not necessarily not looking, but like looking down. And so me being me, I jumped the fence. I jumped like the gate. And as I'm doing my thing, I'm coming off my entrance. I always like to slap hands, and I'm like, "Yo, let's get up, baby. Come on, welcome to the show, right? Bloodsaw, welcome to the show." So he's not looking. So I jump the security barrier, and I get right up to him, and I give him one of these like for a fist bump. I'm like, "Come on, brother. Do you want to see something awesome?" And he looks at me, raw terror, and I go, "Oh no, what have I done?" So I'm like, but he fist bumps me. We're cool. All right, cool. So I jump back over the fence to go about my thing. I do my deal, right? Wrestle, retain. awesome. Head back to the locker room. I grab a cider at the thing. I don't drink beer. I drink a hard cider. Drinking a hard cider, hanging out. I go to put my bag in the car. I'm still, still Bloodsaw. And this dude was in his car, gets out of the car. He's like, "Hey, man," and I'm like, "Oh man, what have I done here?" I'm thinking, I'm still like not sure where this is gonna go. And he says to me, he's like, "Man, not gonna lie to you, the people I was supposed to meet here tonight weren't here. I was by myself. I didn't know anybody here. I didn't go home because I figured, why not? I like wrestling. I'll see what it's all about." And he goes, "For the whole show, I was nervous. I was anxious. I wasn't sure. He's like, I was having some anxiety. I've got some problems." I was like, "All right." And he goes, "When you jumped the fence, you got in my face." He was like, "I was so mad at you, but it was exactly what I needed." And I was able to really tune in and enjoy it. And everybody around me thought it was cool that you talked to me. So like I was talking to everybody and like, man, thanks for doing that. And especially post COVID, post all the isolation everybody felt, post all of the anxiety inducing concept of what's coming, what's happening, why is it happening. In a world where too many people nowadays forget to give somebody a fist bump when they're not ready for it. Um, Stuff like that for me is why we do what we do, because those people who need those moments, who buy their ticket and they get their 18 inches to plant their ass for that show, they're there for that and those moments. And so if we don't give that to those people, then who knows when they're going to get it. And so for me, why we do what we do, what makes it so important to keep doing what we do and to keep giving our absolute best every single time are the stories like that, whether you're a little kid or an adult who just needs somebody to give you a fist bump and for 2 hours help you enjoy that day. That's what we do. And that's a recent story. That was like 3 weeks ago.
That's a good one to me. I went yesterday. So back to this experience of doing things, in the moment and helping people out and stuff. I got a ride with some people to my show yesterday. Guys that I've known for a while, but like never really talked to or anything like that. But we needed to help each other out, right? The conversation in the vehicle the whole time was like we needed to have that ride together. We needed to have that bond, that camaraderie, that positive energy of just respect and love for what we enjoy in this business. So the story hits home with me because of that, and it's awesome. You're a great dude. I am so thankful to have you. I let's see what Ruby says, because you're top notch, my friend. And keep kicking people the hardest you can, man.
I will. I absolutely will.
No, man, it was really, it was really great to have you on here. And I love a good fan interaction. Sometimes you kind of question, it's kind of weird how you get the fan interactions, like you're not sure how they're going to react, and they're in it and everything else. Like, last night, I mean, it was a mix of everything. Of course, I'm not really such a really nice guy now where I'm at, but
It
you
happens.
know, but it was though I was, I mean, I got, I'm the type of guy that they say something, I catch something, and then I say something to them that catches them off guard, and but yet it's funny, and I get the crowd to turn on them laughing at them, which happened last night. And I guess I'll go ahead and say it, but it was there was batons, there was chairs, everything last night in our weapons everywhere last night, and one fan was telling my opponents to take the stick, and I went to him and I said, "Looks to me you take the stick," and then it's like so so I can turn the crowd on somebody who's trying to insult or whatever. And I've had it's a mix for me, because after one last night, one of the super fans of my opponents actually reached over the rail and slapped and hit me, and all I just did was just show the belt in their face and like, haha, that's all. But it's no big deal. But then like it's like some little girl bought my last youth shirt last night, and then and
That's
I
it.
signed the back of the Buzzsaw with the rough cut and took a picture, let her hold the belt, get that. You got to make that memory, you
Yep.
know. So take it with her. So it's like, even though it wasn't really too nice, but still somebody thought I was really cool, and I still took the picture with them. So it's not like I'm not a total dirt bag. It's just only to the guys I'm facing. So
Yeah.
it's
Listen,
and some of
man,
the fans who you know it
we're all there for the fans, right?
right.
If the fans aren't there, we're not there.
100%.
You know,
Exactly. And then of course, I had a few drinks or six. Last night where I didn't have to pay a dime because they were buying me drinks last night inside the bar at the Knights of Columbus. So hey, why not? I don't care. And then a nice hour drive home. I felt really good and
yeah.
tired. So
Only an hour. You got lucky.
yeah, I know, right?
Last weekend I was in Tennessee. I drove out Friday night, drove back right after the show. 2,200 miles.
Woo!
Jeez.
I was complaining about my 3.5 hour drive. Actually, I wasn't. I enjoyed every minute of it. So
Yeah, man. No, last weekend was cool. I got to take Jekyll and myself went on a trip with a student for his very first match ever.
Sick.
Took him total loop was 2,200 miles, man, out there and back. But it was cool, man. That was cool.
Man, 2,200 miles there and back. Wow, a round trip. Ooh.
Yeah, 1,100 each way.
God, man, no, I couldn't do it. I could if I had to go back. Like, no, I'm staying the night somewhere. Then I'm traveling back. I am not. I mean, I'm at that age now. It's like, sorry, man, you're not going to run me drag it like that. It's bad enough I do it at my age as it is. So, yeah, man, but we got to keep making those memories and making the travels and doing everything we possibly can. So, but no, man, it's great. Where can people find you on? Can people find you on social media, online?
Yeah,
Where
man.
as far as what you're doing next?
Facebook, I got the athlete page, Buzz Bloodsaw. Instagram is at the Bloodsaw, man. I keep it easy. 2 ways to see me. Look it up, find me. If you need me for anything, I'm on there. I post up pictures, videos. I like to post my workout videos because that way when I tell somebody, listen, I can lift 500 pounds, they can watch me do it. So, you know, gotta talk the talk, walk the walk, baby. But it's good, man. We do it all.
Excellent. Well, I know it's been a pleasure to have you on, and once again, we thank you for reaching out to us. Like you said, it, and like special shout out once again to Matt Classic, who continues to, I reach out to him, and he's always supplying me with some great talent that has some great insights, and once again, not a disappointment. So.
Thanks. I appreciate
you
you guys doing what you do, having the show, working every week, and keeping it alive and keeping it moving and shaking so guys like me get a shot. So I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you.
Oh, man. Bloodsaw, thank you very much for joining us, man. And safe travels on your next weekend. And
thank you.
And much success to keeping that title, man. So I appreciate you being on.
Thank you, guys. Listen, I'll talk to you guys soon, hopefully. Y'all have a great night.
All right, man. Peace. Have a good night, man.
See you, man. See you guys.
Dude,
wow. Well,
that man's kick is something to be just. I cannot reiterate it. Like I said, I watched like 3 matches of his today just so I was up on his career and what he's doing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that penalty kick, or as he calls it, the shush kick, was something of just spectacular. I was not ready for it. I was not ready for it.
Yeah, I know, but no, it's some good stuff here, though.
Great guest.
Yeah. So let's kind of talk about some topics. Like I said, we had to get. I know we had some deal with some difficulties with technical glitches, and like I said, it's the mans that control all the internet up in Connecticut. So we'll blame them. And but I'm glad that we got to finish that interview. Thank you. And I don't know. And I wouldn't think it would be this all right here, but as far as like with our new platforms, and gotta say, man, X, you're killing it again.
We love you, X. We love you all, but X coming through again with the the views. You guys are killing it. Share us out because we are very grateful for each and every one of you.
Absolutely. Yeah, so X man, keep rocking it out and share the show, man. All of our X followers, share the show, and if you want to leave comments, you probably have to go to YouTube or and if you want to leave something. But man, no, we appreciate you. So let's start back all the way back to Monday though on some notable stuff. Let's talk about Seth. Out of the blue, didn't see it coming, didn't know it was coming. He returns back and Damian offers him a world title match because Seth was talking about trying to go maybe be part of trying to qualify for Money in the Bank, and Damian just gives him the shot. So, do you think it's too early for Seth to come back after? Because we know how bad of a shape he was right after WrestleMania. This is only going to be 3 months after his injury that he's going to be back in the ring.
Okay, so for me, I know there's a lot of people out there that, specifically within the We Talk Wrestling community, that are not Seth fans. They are not Seth fans at all. I don't get it. I'm a big Seth fan. I truly believe that he's one of the workhorses of this generation. The man puts on performance after performance and can put it down. Is he a little more eccentric? Yes. But he continues to impress me over and over from the days of being in ROH and on the indies till now. He just continues to develop and becoming one-of-a-kind guy in professional wrestling. In a world of professional wrestling where everybody, I don't care who you are, every one of us takes a little piece of somebody from the past and adds it to our own personas and stuff because they are the people that, pushed us to want to get into the industry. But Seth is continuing to path himself his own path in professional wrestling, and I think it's a great opportunity for Damian Priest to show the worth of a champion that he is, because I think you and I talked about it briefly about who the better champion was right now. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm loving what Cody's doing. Don't get me wrong. Cody's doing great stuff, and he had a huge shoes to fill when it came to the wrestler that he took the belt off of, correct?
Right.
Damian Priest, kind of the same way. Kind of the same thing. He has a chip on his shoulder, and he said it right in the interview. I wanted to cash in on you. I didn't want it to be Drew. I wanted it to be you, but it wasn't that way. So I'm giving you that opportunity. You don't have to go to the Money in the Bank. You don't have to win the contract. Here it is. Come at me. Damian Priest is continuing to prove each and every time that he was worth that title, and he's holding his own, and he's probably the more intriguing champion right now for me. And that's all of them. That's US, that's IC. He's the more intriguing champion right now, and that's a great testament to his will to continue to push himself to grow, and Seth's a great opponent to grow farther with.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be interesting here, but I mean, obviously, when this match happens, like I said, it's going to be about 3 weeks, Money in the Bank. I mean, I see Damian holding on to it, even though this was a great. I mean, Seth was a great champion. Obviously, he had it for almost a year. But right now, you've got to solidify Damian as a good, solid champion, and I think somehow Seth does. They're gonna find a way that Seth doesn't get it, but yet somehow Seth still looks pretty strong. So, I can't wait for the rematch here. So I'm looking forward to it. So on our next one here, let's kind of talk about this at the end of Raw. Here we go. The Wyatt Six finally arrive. And man, now there are some people out there that are like, well, because they know, obviously Rowan had come back, which is a great tribute with Rowan's character as the Rabbit.
Yes.
Not only that, but with the hammer representing what used to be with the Bludgeon Brothers with Luke Harper or John Huber, so bringing that back, with that hammer. And then, of course, Nikki Cross. Are they officially naming Nikki Cross Sister Abigail in here? Was that who
I
that
want to say
character
yes.
was?
I'm not. I'm pretty sure because they are all the puppets.
Yeah, they're all the puppets from the Fun House,
They're all
all
the
in
puppets.
demonic form. Of course, Joe Gacy's in this.
As Huskus,
Yeah, then Dexter Loomis is in it, and
as
then of course,
Mercy the Buzzard.
yeah, as Mercy the Buzzer, and then because obviously Uncle Howdy being Bo Dallas, or if we're going to go there, we're going to go Taylor Rotunda on here, you know, Bray's brother. So,
Did you notice like the subtle things paying homage to Bray on Uncle Howdy?
yeah,
The
on the
glove that
screen.
says Bray, the hat that had the red ring around it from when he was coming back and stuff. And then there's even the great thing about this, and like Austin is saying here, great you finally joined us, Austin. Thank you for coming in tonight, brother. But the crazy thing about all of this is everything, all the QR codes, all that stuff, were definitely lining up for last Monday night, correct?
Yes.
But throughout the show, there was hints, there was Easter eggs, there was little subtle like alarms being set off. You know, all these kind of things that were just getting put out there for the whole end of the show that we were already like we were looking for him. Chase and I, like Chase got to stay up late last night, Monday, because of this. Like we knew it was happening. Him and I went through and dug up all the QR codes, looked at it. We nerded out together. It was a great time for me and my son to nerd out on professional wrestling. But seeing the rambling rabbit in the shoe behind Chad Gable as he's yelling at Otis and them, and they finally walk away from him saying, we're done, we're over it, like you're nothing without us kind of thing. And then to see Chad Gable laying there, and there's a big controversy over Chad Gable's little like quote unquote death or whatever happened.
They're doing that. They're doing that for Pat McAfee too after the end of his show on Friday. That, you know,
like I don't. This is the part about the wrestling community that I don't understand. I don't get it. Okay, like, yes, wrestling is real to me. Yes, I love everything about it. Yes, but it's still a story, guys. It's still theatrics. It's everything wrapped into one little ball, and we get to sit there and put for 3 hours, 2 hours, disbelief. Put it all away. Put it all away, disbelief, and just enjoy the show. Be there in the moment for what's going on. And you can watch NCIS, ER, any of the, like, you name the damn TV show. They kill people off. They bring them back all the dang time. But as soon as they do it in professional wrestling, oh my God, it's disrespect. Shut up. Shut up and sit down and enjoy what is happening and what we get to embark on in this reimagining. Not reimagining, because I don't believe it's reimagining at all. I believe it's Bo and the crew, and they're really fulfilling what Bray wanted in professional wrestling. I've said it from day one of that great man's passing. This is exactly what he wanted. And there's only one way to pay homage to a man that was taken way too soon from us fans, from the boys in the back, from his family, and all that kind of stuff. And that is to pay homage to the creation and the story that he started, a vision that he started. And who better to carry, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about this right now, but who better to carry that torch than his own brother, a man that does not and did not get the respect that he deserved as his character so years ago, now getting to take on the element that his brother started, the fact that Bo and Bray wanted to be on screen together, the fact that Bray wanted to let his brother carry on and be part of the legacy that his father created, his grandfather created. It's a testament to the family. And that's what it makes it so special and so memorable. And that's why I cannot wait to see whatever they choose to do with it. I am here for it. I am ready for it. Entertain me.
absolutely, yeah. Shut up and go eat a burger. This is great. Yes, I agree. I mean, everything. Now, I forgot it jogged my memory if you remember, but the opening segment when they had a camera angle going from the corner of the ring that's close to the entrance that's going out diagonally,
The-
they were saying that there was a silhouette of Uncle Howdy up
over
like an egg.
Seth's shoulder.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, so Seth was in the beginning, right? And it was in the one of the staircases or in the light of that staircases out in the crowd where they saw Uncle Howdy. So they were doing some subtle hints throughout the show, and then it just wham, and I kind of knew when Jey Uso won last Monday when there was like 9 minutes left to go in the show, and I'm like, I was like, something's coming. They got to fill something in. That Jay's not going to get on the mic again. Something's happening here.
Chase was like, "That's it, Dad. That's it. We did all the research. We did all of it. It was tonight." And I'm like, buddy, look what the time is. He's like, "Okay, it's 49." I'm like, "It's 49." We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet, bro.
Do you like where they did a WWE exclusive with Jey Uso after this was all done? It's like, they can have the Fireflies.
They can have the Fireflies back. I don't want them. I don't want that. But what is this stuff with like Pat McAfee and what did he lie about? I'm curious about that. I'm curious about what he lied about. I'm curious how they're going to go with that. And then another thing that some people are pointing out and potentially like showing, there's more Easter eggs than we saw, is when Howdy was walking up from the back and gathering the rest of them from Grella and stuff. There was a silhouette in the back. There was a silhouette in the back of a girl.
Yeah.
And could it be potentially the return of Alexa Bliss?
It could be,
Because there was only 5. And yes, I know the lantern's supposed to represent Bray. I get it, okay? I understand. But there's only 5 right now.
Right.
I would love to see Alexa Bliss take on The Fiend.
Yeah.
Would love it.
Yeah, I think when she's due back, she will be part of this. And I hope it goes for a good while, and I hope it stays strong. So, I can't wait for Alexa Bliss to come back because she will be part of this group when they do return. So, so I to myself, I'm looking forward to it. So, before we get on our next topic here, I just wanted to try something I didn't try with us before we got on the break here, but I want to try it now. How about now?
Yes!
His name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo.
Okay. So Joe Hendry finally makes his appearance in NXT, coming over from TNA. Finally makes his appearance in NXT, and this has to be the greatest, biggest, most viral, sensational thing to happen in a long time for WWE, because not only did we have the Great Wyatt Six finally show their face and show it, and they destroyed the internet with their arrival, this man single-handedly surpassed their views on the social web. How crazy is that to think? Did you see the footage? I don't remember where it was but it was a school. I posted on We Talk Wrestling. It was a school where the kids were singing his song and ecstatic that he showed up at NXT. Dude, I believe in Joe Hendry. I like, this is the guy. The whole reason I would watch TNA is for this man. This man right here.
Yeah.
He's the dude. He is the dude.
So obviously,
Thank you, Austin, for saying California. It was in California, where the kids were.
But It's no, but it's good to see that we're having more cross branding coming over. Even if it's in NXT, that's where it needs to be right now. And that's also going to keep NXT hot, in my opinion, with the help of TNA coming over there. And then, of course, I don't care what people say, and you may have your own opinion, but people from NXT and their roster now, I mean, their roster is starting to get built. I mean, getting to
It's deep.
showcase more. I mean, there's some really good superstars that are developing once again in NXT again, and people from NXT going over to TNA is also going to help with TNA's brand. So, and of course, you keep doing that, you're going to be beating AEW Dynamite every
See,
week.
that's the thing too that people need to understand is like OVW, TNA, NWA. These three brands, yes, they've been around for so long, right? They've been here. They've gone through bad times, good times, and everything in between. But these three brands are right now in a real renewing of their roster and rebuilding what they once had. They are literally working from the ground up to reestablish something within the industry and a foothold for them in the industry, and bringing back somewhat of these territory-esque. This is why I've said it with you, Mr. Herb Simmons, and several others. This is really you're seeing in today's era of professional wrestling. You're seeing in some sense the territories come back. You're really starting to see this kind of progression of how it all interlocks to the quote unquote main stage of WWE or AEW or New Japan. That's how I'm viewing it right now. And I think that's a wonderful, beautiful thing. And seeing this rebuilding, this reinsurgence of TNA, of OVW, NWA, and even NXT right now, because NXT had the rug pulled out of their feet when they were the black and gold. You and I raved about it, loved the black and gold, and then it got turned into the Fruity Pebble monstrosity that it became, and it lost its luster. It really did. It lost its drive. And now that it's the white and gold, and they're doing these things and having these other wrestlers come in from other companies in this big rebuilding phase, and then you have guys like Oba Finning, Trick Williams, Roxanne Perez down there. There's so many people down there that are really starting to get some footing underneath them, and it's an awesome time to see these guys continue to develop, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah, I mean, the women's division down there is really starting to build up pretty good. I mean, I don't care, Lola Vice,
Lash Legend.
Yeah, Lonnie. Nobody does it like Lonnie as the NXT Women's North American Champion. Of course, Jada Parker. You can also say, to make the case for Lash Legend. I mean, there's just a
Helen Finley.
Fallon Henley.
Fallon Henley.
Yeah.
I messed. That's the second time I've messed her name up.
I mean, you got a great women's division here too, and so, the women out of NXT are looking really strong. I mean, like I said, all these guys here, I think it's just great somehow if Joe Hendry can appear more on NXT. This guy, I'm telling you, if they expose more to NXT and they keep cross branding, somehow Joe Hendry's going to be more than NXT.
If done right, I think Joe Hendry. If I was TNA, Joe Hendry's who I'm putting my money on right now. Like that's where I'm putting all of my investment right there. Let's go with Joe Hendry, because the numbers that he moved, holy cow, bro, holy cow.
I agree.
So that's what it's all about. They found their cash cow. They found him. Build your company around him now.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, and the guy in your shirt. Yeah, I noticed that the all-ego Ethan Page shirt you're wearing here tonight.
Yeah. Awesome one last week, and I'm like, you know what? I got to wear it tonight, man. I got to represent my dude, represent my guy.
Yeah. I got my family wrestling shirt on. You can't see it, but it says, shh, I'm watching wrestling. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's a promo. Shut up. No. Oh my gosh. And we've already kind of addressed just an over basic question here, but how about we do one more here at least? That's right. Even though he's claimed that he quit Raw, he was done with WWE, he just wanted it out. And then of course CM Punk announcing he's going to be on Chicago. You know, he announces on Raw he's going to go to Chicago and everything else to make his announcement. Drew McIntyre dupes CM Punk in his hometown and leaves him laying. Um, so obviously, I know I just knew this thing was going to end, but you kind of wonder, would Drew follow him? And I kind of had a feeling he was going to follow him because it's either that or if he didn't respond at all, it was going to be at least till Money in the Bank before he showed back up again. But it didn't even go a full week before Drew followed him and make Punk's life a living hell. So
How does he get suspended?
Yeah, you kind of wanted that because he shoved Nick Aldis when.
Yes. So I mean, I liked how they kind of unveiled it too. Like, I was with you. I kind of wish they would have held off on this one. So like, this was not necessarily needed yet, in my opinion. I get it that it's Chicago. I get why they're doing it. And I guess I understand why they pulled the trigger now. So 100% backing why creative and the story went this way. But the way they unveiled it, where they're doing like the promo back there and they're talking and stuff, and we're having that little scene thing, and then all of a sudden you see the door rattle and shake, and then it continues to rattle and shake, and then you see it lift up, and there's Punk in his blood, and McIntyre just standing over him, and he just picks him up and heaves him on his shoulders after shoving everybody, and then throws him in on the stage. Like, you just made McIntyre look more like a badass than he ever had. Like, the dude's a walking Terminator. like Drew McIntyre has always been one of my guys, and I've always enjoyed him, and I've always thought he's been the chosen one. But he is really, really going in on this now, and we're starting to see a little bit of a certain Drew that we saw in a company called TNA at one time. So I'm enjoying this new resurgence of his character and his development. And like I said, this is one match that I cannot wait to see happen. Like, I am pumped for this match.
I'm also kind of, it makes you wonder what else are they going to build toward, because this is going down in SummerSlam. It's not going to wait any early. It's not going to go any earlier than that. They're going to wait for a big show, the second largest, I guess we're going to call it now, PLE of WWE for the year now. And now you got to say that because SummerSlam is going to be going to 2 nights coming 2026. So obviously they're not putting any other PLE in 2 nights other than when WrestleMania started doing that back in the COVID era with the whole pandemic, and they just kept it that way. So, yeah. So I mean, and almost, I think probably this SummerSlam is probably going to be around at least 4 hours, if not a little bit more.
Oh, it's going to be a huge show, I think.
It's going to be a huge show at Cleveland Browns Stadium, which people have been, if you notice, it's the little things that whenever they're doing that whole flyover of the stadium, it's a picture from like 2 years ago because it still says Indians up on the, like, because they're no longer the Cleveland Indians. It's like, just shut up, people. All right, it's still the same damn stadium. Just shut up. Well, anyway, I didn't think that Cleveland Browns Stadium, I thought was something. It's probably something different. It's not even the same venue, so I don't know. People like that, they're like, it's not the right stadium or it's not the right name. Shut up. It's the same damn town. Shut your hole. No one cares. So, oh my God. But no, I'm really psyched up about this match. So, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Tyler Cooley. No, Tyler Cooley hasn't been slacking at all. He's had a busy weekend, hiding behind women last night, and now emceeing a. I got to give him help for that because I see the picture. It's like, that does not look good, Tyler. I'm still
Phoenix saved his life from Aleister Crow. He was saved by Phoenix and the prodigal son, Jake Prater.
Yeah. Well, but that well, I'll tell you. oh, oh, now he's talking smack, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about. We already
Yeah,
talked that and discussed that.
yeah, I know.
Why do you
Well,
gotta
he's
bring
coming
Why
in
do you gotta
late.
bring that
So,
up when that I can't stand El Magnifico.
I know, man. So he got a taco kick. So
I
I
did get a
mean,
taco kick.
yeah, but I don't know.
Felt like a burrito.
Probably the weight of one.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
like one of those crappy gas station burritos that you get that you regret 20 minutes later as you're leaving.
oh my god! Wow, wow. He's saying gotcha.
Yeah, the cooler got him too. I'm not going to go into detail of that one. You know.
Right, right. I almost forgot about doing that before we start wrapping things up here. But hey, next week, guys, um, we've actually got a poster for next week. So next week, of course, will be officially
Ooh,
episode number 152. So Sean Cruz, who's actually a 23-year veteran, has been referred to us here about wanting to come onto the show, kind of discuss some things about the business, his career. He's got some great insight. I heard him on a couple other podcasts he's actually done, and so he's um, so we're going to be excited to see Sean Cruz here next week for episode number 152.
that's gonna be an awesome show. Just like
Yeah,
this one, man. You guys need to go back and check out Bloodsaw. I keep wanting to say Buzzsaw because
yeah,
I know it's
yeah,
what it's his play. It's his play. I get it.
yeah.
But Bloodsaw, man, the dude is a beast in that ring. He's a monster and a great character. So go out and give a shout out to him and watch him. 30 February, right? No, March.
Yeah, it says February.
February, 30 defenses of the international heavyweight champion of the AIWF. That is crazy. That man is a working machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so it was great to have Bloodsaw on tonight. Great guest, and we're gonna have Sean Cruz on here next week. Um, and the St. Louis Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame. That's what Tyler Cooley emceed here uh, today, and yeah, so it's good to get that and kind of like also what to hear some of those stories here because I know a lot of those guys, Tyler. So I'm sure they've had some really good stories. In fact, Al Stevens was one of the inductees here today, and I know if, a few other people that were down there too that got inducted. So a great event today. Fortunately, I was not able to make it with some other things that have come up, but. But hey, guys, for those who are watching here, I mean, you may have to go back and watch, or even if you got another device, remember that QR code that's been up on our screen in the top left-hand corner. That's our link to all of our social platforms. We'll have some more announcements here for you next week regarding what the show, but hopefully you're liking the setup and everything here. And once again, like I said, numbers don't lie, guys. We're gonna put it out here to you now. So it's actually, what is it now? 16.
16.
Wow. So 16 out here. So 16. Wow. What?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
No
each and every
kidding.
one of you from YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. We got 3 of you guys there. X, you guys killed it this week. Hey,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see if Facebook next week can top X. Let's see who the champion of each week's going to be. Let's start a challenge. I'm down with this. You down with that?
Yeah. I'm down with that, man. We just got to get more Twitch followers because I don't think we got that many. I think we got more X viewers right now than we have Twitch followers right now.
That's all right. Like,
So I'm all game for it here, man. And like I said, there's just a lot of work to be put in here today because I'm going to make sure that we get something set up here for our merchandise once again. The new False Count Everywhere jersey tees are online right now at thewokebrand.com. Of course, along with all the variety of We Talk Wrestling tees that the Gem Cedar Mouse and Miz has got out there. So make sure you're supporting the show there. And, like I said, guys, we're here try to bring you some more content. We're investing into more tools, and trying to bring you some more quality content here. So, man, it's
And if you support us by buying the gear so you can rep it, okay, that's going to support us to allow us to pour back into you. And maybe, you never know, a contest might come up. We might try to pull something out of our hat and give back to you guys on some contests. So everything works. We have to full circle, right?
yeah, full circle, absolutely. And like I said, if something comes around, we'll like I said, there's more that's going to be going into here, and in fact, I've been distracted so much and making sure I've done everything here and make sure I had prepared for everything, but I couldn't find my outro video, so because we're going to have to kind of wing it here. And you guys like the little background music?
I like it. That's good. With that being said, from Rick Ruby, I am the Gym City Mouth. We'll see you next Sunday, 9 p.m. Have a good one, guys.
See you guys. Peace.
Peace.